Hey guys, time for weekly weird news.
Now, having done this show for, nearly 4 years. Fuck. One weird news trope that seems to keep popping up over and over again is mystery poopers or phantom poopers. People who, out of convenience or pure malice or even out of pleasure, flout society's unspoken social contract about going to the bathroom in the bathroom. And we're not just talking about isolated situations where you just gotta go, so you go. I mean, if that were the case, we'd all be guilty here, am I right?
Hey, we've all stopped on the side of the 405 and let one loose. Where else are you gonna go if you gotta go?
Good point.
This time, again, we're talking about serial defecation, where a person regularly takes shits in places like yards, alleys, hiking trails, swimming pools, or in this case, on a high school football field in New Jersey. Coaches and staff at Holmdel High School recently noticed a recurring pattern of what seemed to be human feces on or near their football field and track, with new dumps appearing on a daily basis in the early morning hours. But who would do such a thing? Certainly not a student, because they wouldn't be up that early.
I mean, well, I had to wake up really early in high school.
I mean, I would wake up early.
Zero period.
I would get there right on time because a wizard appears exactly when it means to.
Well, I mean, the simplest, most obvious explanation here would be that the phantom pooper was a student, perhaps even an athlete, because teenagers are, after all, stupid, disgusting, and sociopathic. Athletes are their kings.
Plus, if you have a cup of coffee and do a little jogging, it's got to come out somehow.
But, that if it's a student, that doesn't really narrow anything down at all. There's hundreds of them. So school employees decided to get to the bottom of this by staging a sting operation involving a security camera pointing in the general direction of where all those dumps had been found. And they caught their pooping perpetrator. That's where things get extra weird, though, because this was not the work of a student. This was a 42-year-old man who also happens to be the superintendent of a local school district.
Huh. Well, here's your pooper. Thomas Tremaglini, who isn't even the superintendent of the school district in which he was pooping, but rather a different school district 45 minutes away. Was this some kind of elaborate end-of-the-year prank, Elliot?
No.
Like stealing the mascot?
If only. Would it were that simple?
We don't know. Maybe it was a weird school rivalry. Who the hell knows? But apparently, Poopin' Thomas Tremaglini lives just a few miles from Holmdel High School and would go there in the early mornings to jog before heading to work 32 miles away. Okay, yeah, jogging. There you go. He'd go there, get his legs moving, and that would obviously get his bowels moving. And instead of using one of the multiple porta potties next to the track, he'd just drop trowel right there on the track and feel that cool morning breeze between his butt cheeks.
If you haven't done it.
I mean, it's totally...
Do it in the woods.
If you're on a long hike or something, you have to go well off the trail.
Yeah.
And usually, if you're prepared, you bring a camp shovel with you and you bury it.
That's right.
Yes, that's the proper way.
Because if you don't bury the poop, it comes back to life after 3 days, and then you have to defeat it.
Just like Jesus.
But, so that liberating feeling of the cool New Jersey morning breeze in his taint, that was cut short when police arrived and arrested him on charges of lewdness, public urination/defecation, and discarding and dumping of litter. Here's his mugshot, in which you can see a 42-year-old man realizing his reputation and career in education are now seriously damaged because he couldn't be troubled to walk 50 feet over to an actual toilet. Now he's known on the internet as Pooping Tom, the pooperintendent, and if this was any other industry, he might be able to get past this, but kids and teens love nothing more than a good poop joke.
See, I think that he did it once, because maybe he thought the porta potties were locked or something, but once you feel that freedom. Lucky for Poopin' Tom, though, and unlucky for the homeowners of his school district, he can't actually be fired over this, just suspended with pay. $147,000 a year of pay. His contract runs for another 2 years, and we're not entirely clear on any of this, but it sounds like New Jersey law is going to allow him to continue getting paid for doing nothing until he's actually convicted of a crime.
This is brilliant.
Yeah. He's playing
also,
the long
I'm in
game.
the wrong business.
Exactly.
God damn it.
I should be a superintendent.
I would be the superintendent.
Yeah, you can't spell super without superintendent, or be one of those.
Anyway, and this is a case where we hope it goes to trial so that we, the people, can at least get some closure on just why Pooping Tom, the pooperintendent, did what he did. For now, we can only speculate. NJ.com, who's been covering this story in great detail, actually interviewed 2 clinical psychologists about serial pooping, and while they could only speak in general terms and not about this specific serial pooper ethics, they did say that serial pooping is likely driven by some form of anger or resentment, and is undoubtedly a deliberate and flagrant act.
But not fragrant.
Not
certain
fragrant at all.
type of fragrant. But anyways, Dr. Thomas Hollenbach said, the fact that it's repeated means that it's intentional. The person is weaponizing the emotion of disgust and using it to upset people. He also described it as very, very hostile and likened it to vandalism. Dr. Edward Callahan agreed, citing the fact that this wasn't just a one-time thing. It was out in the open, in the same place, multiple times. That still doesn't answer the question of just what drove this man to channel his anger into public dumps or why he chose this specific location, but again, we pray to the gods that this goes to trial so that he has to explain himself in front of everyone.
I need to know.
But in the meantime, he has a good amount of time to come up with a story.
Yeah.
And I can't wait.
And he's making money, just sitting at home, probably catching up on his Netflix.
My stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably still going out in the yard to take dumps.
It's my yard, damn it.
I've been found out. Why would I ever go back to a toilet?
We were always wondering why Tom's flower garden was just so fruitful. Even in the winter months, it was sprouting crops.
Yeah.
Anyway,
speaking of education, gone wrong. We see new examples of our education system failing people on a daily basis. But possibly one of the biggest failures worldwide has to be ignorance of the fact that New Zealand exists. And hey, even if you know about New Zealand because it's the place where the Lord of the Rings was filmed, do you know much else about it? Can you find it on a map? And even if you know where it is, you still might not be able to find it on a map because an alarming number of world maps don't even bother to include it.
All that ink costs money. This phenomenon is so prevalent that sites like World Maps Without .nz and the Maps Without NZ subreddit are constantly finding new examples of New Zealand being completely forgotten by the rest of the world. And it's not like New Zealand is some tiny country. Here it is overlaid on top of the United States. Here it is next to Europe. No one ever seems to forget about Japan, but New Zealand is almost the same size. Yeah, it looks like it just got tired of Australia one day and broke off and floated away.
Yeah.
Yet, in countless examples, primarily in advertising and graphic design, New Zealand simply does not exist. East of Australia, it's just ocean until you reach the Americas. There are one guardian angel out there blocking everyone from coming over. It's the real wall.
Yeah, it's not hard to see why this would all be upsetting and annoying to the 4.6 million people who call New Zealand home. In the Anglosphere, Canada and Australia get made fun of all the time for being secondary to the UK and the US, but at least they get acknowledged.
Yeah.
The most creative insult most people can come up with for New Zealand is that they're sheep shaggers, but they don't even get to have that one for themselves. They have to share it with the goddamn Welsh. And at least Wales gets to show up on maps on account of being in the UK.
Yeah.
There are 3 emojis for the Earth, but New Zealand does not show up on a single one. Sad.
New Zealand viewers, are you upset or proud of this? I don't know.
There might be a silver lining to all this.
Could be, yeah.
Kim Jong-un
Has no idea.
What's New Zealand? I don't.
You're very safe. It's not just a problem that pops up in shitty graphic design either. The movie Star Trek First Contact features a scene with a view of the Earth from the Starship Enterprise, and apparently in the year 2063, some catastrophic event has occurred that has made New Zealand sink into the ocean while leaving Australia completely unscathed. Maybe it is that we're all just living in the future, and New Zealand does have a target on its back.
Yeah, this could be an illusion.
Yeah.
Could
I wonder
be a
if
spoiler.
you know what I'd be curious about? Do the flat earthers recognize New Zealand?
There's multiple flat earther maps that don't include it.
Oh, fuck. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyways, Pixar's Monsters, Inc. universe is a repeat offender here, failing multiple times to acknowledge New Zealand's existence in both movies and at theme park attractions. It seems like it's out of spite now, much like the pooper.
Yeah. They're just
What
doing
did New Zealand do? That's like you go to an interview for Thor Ragnarok and you're like, Taika Waititi, where are you from? New Zealand. Never heard of it. I'm pretty sure you're lying.
Yeah. No, but really.
Really, you're Australian, right?
Weirder still, though, are examples where attempts were made to include New Zealand in maps, but it was done completely wrong. The intro cinematic to Crash Bandicoot 2 features whatever the hell this is sitting where New Zealand's supposed to be. In other examples, only one of New Zealand's 2 main islands makes the cut, and sometimes New Zealand gets represented properly, but thousands of miles away from where it's supposed to be. Sometimes, perhaps out of pity, 2 New Zealands get represented side by side out there in the middle of the Pacific.
From my experience, when I have seen it on a map, it looks like it's real close to Australia.
It's
Like,
not.
It's
like
not at all.
1,000 miles
It's
up.
very far. In one example of this problem actually causing serious issues, a woman from New Zealand was detained at an airport in Kazakhstan because officials didn't believe New Zealand was its own country, insisting it was part of Australia and she needed to present an Australian passport instead of her clearly fake New Zealand passport. If it's a real place, where's the original Zealand? Where's Zealand at, man?
I looked this up. There's two Zealands. One is the island in Denmark where Copenhagen's on, and then there's like a Zealand in the Netherlands that's spelled a little different.
You learn something new.
I don't know which one it's based on though.
At one point, this woman was detained in an interrogation room and told to point out on a large wall map where she was from, but she couldn't because the map didn't have New Zealand on it. How frustrating would that be?
All right,
I swear, it was right here. What if she started like they're gaslighting her? They're gaslighting her into thinking that her country doesn't exist anymore. It's like a fucked up version of the movie where Tom Hanks gets stuck in an airport.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go anywhere. This place it doesn't exist right now. We're sorry, but lady, come on, it's not on this map.
Also, great job Kazakhstan at really redeeming yourself after Borat made you look like backwards. Third world and shit. Real good job, guys. But anyway, enough is enough. Despite this all kind of making New Zealand weirdly appealing as a place to escape the rest of the world, the New Zealand government has officially tackled this issue through a tourism ad featuring Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern and friend of the show Rhys Darby, in which Darby puts on his conspiracy hat and tries to get to the bottom of this, eventually concluding that it's a global conspiracy by those dirty Australians to steal New Zealand's tourism, by the French to keep people from discovering New Zealand's wines, and by the British, who want people to forget that New Zealand's national rugby team is the best on earth.
Now, they also claim that New Zealand invented and perfected the flat white, but Australia gets really upset about that too, apparently.
No, shit.
Yeah.
Darby does, however, also give some map makers the benefit of the doubt because New Zealand is sort of oddly shaped, and some people might assume it's just a mistake, so they remove it.
No, it looks like Florida's gonna look in a couple years when it breaks away from the United States and splits in half. Right at Orlando. Whose side are you on? Moving on though, just because New Zealand is being robbed of the respect and prestige it deserves doesn't mean you have to let your home be robbed of your possessions. Guess what? This episode's sponsored by ADT. Is your home an ADT home? Get ADT and help protect against break-ins, fire, and carbon monoxide. For a limited time, get ADT's lowest rate starting at just $28.99 a month from the most trusted name in home security. That is just $1 a day.
ADT is the first security company to help keep you safe at home and when you're on the go with the new ADT Go app. ADT Go also offers a family locator, private messaging, automatic check-ins, and safe driving reports. It even includes an SOS button with 24/7 emergency response. And you get ADT Go with a purchase of any security system. Go to ADT.com/podcast to take advantage of ADT's lowest rate. ADT, tested, trusted, proven, and here's the fine print. With 36-month monitoring contract, early termination and installation fees apply, excludes taxes and fees, applies to traditional services only, certain markets excluded, licenses available at ADT.com.
You're really good at that. Get a job in commercials.
Terrestrial radio, baby, that's the future.
Yes, it is.
You gotta go up to New Haven, Connecticut and start knocking on doors.
I wonder if Howard Stern has ever, gone back on that.
I'm sure he is ashamed.
The man makes
But
millions doing,
I don't think he
a show a week at this point, so. Anyways, here's some of the best, most entertaining, and true weird headlines from around the world. Starting with...
Jurors sick of hearing about prison guards' huge stinky penis.
Just show it to us!
We get it.
We've heard about it for weeks, if not months, probably years. Just whip it out so we can see it and smell it.
Yeah, so this guy, it's less funny the more you hear. This guy's a prison guard who's charged with sexually assaulting multiple female inmates.
Wow, that sucks.
But a big part of the trial is proving that these women, it all actually happened to all of them, and so
the consensus is?
So they're having each of them describe in detail this guy's dick. And apparently it's big, it's curved, it smells terrible. One of the female inmates said,
like a New Zealand boomerang.
Yeah, one of the inmates said, if it wasn't for the smell, I'd be all over this dick.
Wait, what?
I mean, these women are in prison. They're not pillars of virtue here.
Oh.
But
well, it's a new season idea for Orange is the New Black.
But yeah, the jury apparently is just like, God damn it, another one has to describe
We are tired of hearing.
We get it.
Get the man in here and let's see his boomerang-shaped
Let's just send this guy to prison.
Yeah, and then he can deal with everyone else's big stinky pee-pees. Let's move on though. Idaho school can't find small bit of weapons-grade plutonium.
Whoops!
What, did they like lease this or something for an experiment?
So okay. No, I mean like they had it for research.
Wait, okay. The best, first of all, what school is this? Elementary, middle school, high school?
Idaho State University.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Because if like an Idaho high school had a piece
Whoops! Look at this, kids. This is enough to create a dirty bomb.
This week we're cutting open frogs. Next week, we're dealing with weapons-grade plutonium.
Yeah, so the most likely and most reassuring explanation is that it's just a clerical error. That they actually did send it away like 15 years ago for disposal, but forgot to keep records of it. But
hell of an error.
If that's not the case, there is enough plutonium for a dirty bomb out there somewhere, maybe behind a filing cabinet. Who knows?
Yeah.
You don't need a whole lot of it. Apparently, it's like the size of a quarter, so it's very easy to misplace.
Well, hopefully it's just lost forever.
Yeah, maybe someone kept it in their pants and went into the laundry, and they're like, God damn it.
And now that person has superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nothing bad ever happens from radiation, only cool things.
Yes. If movies have taught me anything, it's that you want to fuck around with some plutonium.
Yeah, that's how all those Super Saiyans and shit, like Japan, everyone was normal until the bomb, and now look at anime.
Yeah.
Boom.
Anyways, moving on.
Ohio couple startled to find convicted felon sleeping off candy vendor on their couch.
All hopped up on pixie sticks.
You
know you can snort pixie sticks, right?
Oh my God.
It's amazing.
There's always that one kid in high school who snorted the Fun Dip or the Pixie Sticks and then immediately regretted their decision.
Yeah, it'll burn.
Yeah, I mean it's a great way to scare kids straight.
Wait, so okay, was the felony based off of stealing candy or
this guy he's a felon because he was already in prison.
Okay, so where he
broke into someone's house in the middle of the night,
ate all their candy,
and then passed out on the couch, and they were like, "Get out of here!" And he's like, "Wouldn't you wake up?"
How do you fall asleep on someone's couch that you've broken into?
I mean, he probably wasn't just
on candy.
If I had to guess.
Well, it must have been like heroin or something.
Could be.
Yeah. Certainly wasn't meth. He would have eaten the couch.
Yeah, and Well, yeah, and if it was uppers, you don't really get hungry on uppers.
Yeah,
maybe it was a few too many marijuanas.
Yeah. He actually melted into the couch just like in the ad.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be anything. Bobcat kittens mistaken for domestic kittens. 3 people injured. Because they grow up.
They found a bunch of these bobcat kittens like in the alley. They're like, "Oh, poor kittens, where's your mother? Let's take you home." And I mean they're wild animals.
Yeah.
They're predators. They'll fuck you up. Even the little ones.
Would be cute though if you domesticated it. Probably illegal.
Yeah, and probably not like. I don't know if the bobcats would be down with that. I think there's an urge within every bobcat to go out into the wild and kill people's dogs.
Yes.
One of my parents' dogs almost got taken away by a bobcat.
Yeah.
He was in the mouth and everything and managed to wiggle free.
Did your dad punch him in the face like that kangaroo?
No.
Oh.
My mom was there and she just screamed at it.
Oh. She should have hit it with a broom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it dropped it?
Yeah. This guy's
Your mom must be terrified.
5-pound Maltese, just like still has the scars from being
what
almost
wild
killed
animal
by a bobcat.
What wild animal looks at your mom and goes, "Not worth the fight"?
I don't know. I think she was just like, "Ah!"
She read it in a book.
He's like, "Oh, this is too much trouble here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to."
No. There's easier dogs to kill. Not today, woman.
Same dog had died almost twice. He got.
What the fuck is up with this dog?
He's like 15 now.
It's like a walking curse. You gotta get rid of it. You gotta let the bobcat.
He got captured by a bobcat, and another time he got stung by a bee and went into anaphylactic shock and almost died that time.
Animals hate him.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. It's gotta have some weird.
He looks
scent
like
on
a
it.
victim. They're like, "Oh, this little fucking lap dog."
I bet that bobcat was hunting him for weeks.
Probably.
I want that fucking dog. I don't know why, but I do.
Yeah, he's probably been hunted by like hawks and shit too. He's a very small dog.
He's dead now, right?
No, he's still alive.
Wait, what? How old is this dog?
He's like, I think like 13, 14.
Well,
he has no teeth.
Maybe when it's time to put the dog down, you just like put it out back and let nature take its course.
I'm probably gonna put him on a little boat and shoot a flaming arrow at him.
We're kidding. If your dog needs to be put down, take it to a professional.
Dude,
we like to joke a lot on the show.
That's one thing you don't want to DIY.
Yeah, you don't want to joke about hurting animals.
They have ways of making this work.
Yeah. Woman cited for damaging convenience store microwave by heating urine. I don't understand why urine specifically would damage it, but
Well, because like,
is it just heating any liquid?
yeah, liquids like, if you
The
put them
chemical
in,
reaction.
yeah, it explodes. It just gets fucking
it
everywhere.
turns into steam, gets in everything.
Yeah, she's doing it because, so she ran away. And they found her later. She was at a like place where you submit to a piss test to like,
Drug
because you're
test?
on probation. Yeah, it was someone else's piss that
Gotta heat it up.
she had been storing in the fridge. She's like, oh god, no one's gonna believe this ice cold piss is mine. I gotta heat this up, but I don't have a microwave of my own, so I shall head down to the local 7-Eleven and heat it in their microwave.
Those are super microwaves too.
Yeah, I think that's why this happened. Those ones are industrial.
If you're ever in this situation, you got to do the smart thing here, and because you don't want to overheat it, then it's a giveaway too. So what you do is you put the urine in your mouth and you hold it there for a minute straight, because then it'll be the natural temperature of your body, and then you spit it back in the cup.
You just keep it in your mouth the whole time. They're like, all right, do the piss test, and then you're like, all right, zip.
There you go.
Sir, what are you doing? Well, that's just my urine.
I pissed through my mouth.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
If you got a better way, I'd like to hear it. Ugh.
90-year-old driver finishes last in NASCAR event.
Why'd they let him in? This obviously isn't the main NASCAR.
No,
event.
it was
like the.
This is like the AAA level.
Yeah, yeah.
This guy, he was a NASCAR champion in the 50s.
Is it Richard Petty?
No, this guy.
Dick Trickle? No, I think that
even
guy
old.
killed himself actually.
Jesus. No, he was just, he thought it'd be fun. So yeah, it was some minor league NASCAR thing, and a local business sponsored him. Like, let's get him back on the track. And he, he's old, so didn't quite have the reflexes to go really open her up.
Yeah. Well, at least he didn't even have the chance to use his blinker. They don't have them. It's just plexiglass.
No.
Get out of the way, old man. I wonder how far was he getting lapped? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, he finished like 3 laps behind. I'm sure he had a great time though. He's probably waving at his family every time he passed.
Woo!
I still got it.
He came in last like 20 minutes later, and he still did the burnout in the infield, just doing donuts.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, hey, that's fun. Man drives 40 miles with 3,000 bees loose in truck cab. Why didn't he stop?
Well, he bought bees for his farm.
Yeah.
He had them in these boxes in the truck bed.
Okay.
But then he got hungry, so he pulled over and went to a barbecue restaurant. He's like, he cares about these bees. He's like, I can't leave the bees in the back. Someone might steal them. Also, it's very hot. I'm gonna put them in the cab where there's some shade. But then after he finished his barbecue, he came out, and the bees had somehow gotten out of the box. And he's like, well, it's like $150 per box here. I can't just like waste these bees. So he just got in the truck and didn't bother him and drove the rest of the 40 miles home.
Oh, if he's calm and cool and collected, then there's no reason for them to attack.
Yeah, they interviewed him. He's like, I mean, the smart thing to do would be have an EpiPen handy in case I get attacked by 3,000 bees. But, I got enough experience with this. I figured it was worth the risk.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure he was driving very calmly.
He was taking Facebook videos during it.
Hey, this is wild, isn't it?
Not only driving with 3,000 bees loose in his truck, but also like vlogging it. Just being like, hey, look at this.
What could go wrong?
Yep, just driving with a bunch of bees.
This is the one situation where something didn't go terribly wrong.
Yeah.
So.
And this man will absolutely, this is like, I think South Carolina, this man will absolutely not be evacuating for the next hurricane.
No.
I drove 40 miles with 3,000 bees.
Think I'm scared of a little wind?
Statistics are bullshit.
Hey, look, Florida. Tampa man vandalizes cars that reminded him of college bullies, deputies report. It's like that dude that fucks cars.
This guy
He finds them attractive. This guy finds them infuriating.
Yeah,
What do the cars look like?
They were like BMWs and shit.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. College bullies roll up with their Beamers.
Yeah. Fucking trust fund assholes.
I mean, I see where he's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's like 40 and he's still like pretty resentful about this. That's a bit unhealthy. But again, it's like that pooping. He has no power in this world, so he's seizing the power any way he can.
Yeah. Well, I feel bad because like these people that own the cars, they didn't ask for it.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
He threw like paint thinner on the finish. It just ruined it. It's like thousands of dollars in damage.
Well, I'm sure they probably have insurance.
Yeah. Also, I mean, like,
Hey, they're BMW owners. They were gonna crash their cars one day anyway.
Yeah, it's like, I hate to stereotype car owners, but BMW owners, a lot of those stereotypes are there for a reason. Also, Mustang owners.
Yeah, Mustang
constantly
owners
crashing their cars.
Anyone that has a car that has a dealer plate on it and you know that they didn't just buy it, bad. Did that law go into effect yet? It's gotta be soon. Where you can't have dealer plates anymore.
Oh, like at all? Like they have to issue a plate.
The
right
dealer
at
has to give you a temporary plate with an ID on it.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know Steve Jobs.
That was the reason why. It was the Steve Jobs law. He would just buy a new car.
Buy a new car every 6 months.
So he wouldn't have to register it.
Yeah, and he could
Genius.
just park wherever he wanted.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Ticket me?
Yeah. It is liberating in California when you do get a new car, and you what are they gonna do? Give you a ticket? Go in the fucking.
You can go right through those red lights.
No, not those red lights, but you could go on like the paid toll lanes.
Oh yeah.
What are they gonna do?
You drive through it when the camera snaps your picture, just bloop.
Fuck you. Oh, anyways.
Speaking of dealers, it's quicker to get cocaine delivered to your door than a takeaway pizza, report finds.
Where is this at?
The UK.
Yeah, I mean, even here in Los Angeles, weed delivery is a huge thing because it usurps the law of having a physical dispensary, which are very hard to get, and they're very quick.
Well, and with cocaine, every dealer is essentially an entrepreneur. They're not some wage slave like the guys at Domino's. Doesn't matter how fast they go, they're still making jack shit.
Yeah.
Maybe get tipped a little better, but these cocaine guys, they got to keep their customers happy. They got to get there fast.
They should start an app called Coke Mates.
Coke Mates.
Yeah. Works in the UK too because of mates.
Yeah. Coke, mate.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially specifically with this drug, you got to get there real quick.
Yeah.
People are probably fiending.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, they might have just ran out.
Woman's runny nose turns out to be brain fluid leak.
Yeah, this is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Yes.
These are the worst. When it's a medical issue that like, it's one of those things where, you get a cold one day and you go on WebMD and it's like, yeah, you're dying of cancer.
Yeah.
It's stuff like this that makes me really believe that sometimes.
Yeah, so she had gotten in a car accident like 5 years ago. And, she's like, okay, you're fine, go home. But apparently she had like just a tiny hole in her sinuses had managed to
eat away at
Yeah, there was just like a tiny hole where fucking brain fluid was leaking into her nose. She repeatedly went to doctors. She's like, I've had a running nose for 5 years. And they're like, just take some allergy medicine.
Rub a salt tablet on it.
But yeah, she was apparently, she was losing a half pint of brain fluid a day.
Jesus Christ.
That was brain fluid, that shit was working overtime. Like, what is this lady doing?
Well, now she's probably super smart.
Yeah, exactly.
She got
Bonus
brain fluid.
Bonus brain.
It's like that fucking guy who went to the dentist and got like a root canal, and then like he was in pain, but it's like, yeah, you're gonna be in pain after a root canal for a little while. But it had gotten infected and he died. Like in Oregon or something.
Oh my God.
Fucking terrifying.
I thought the whole point of a root canal was to get rid of the infection.
Yeah, I guess it was just done improperly or something.
Fuck.
Yeah. It's crazy out there.
Jesus, I haven't been to a dentist in a long time.
You should go before your insurance runs out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Final headline, study claims humans could shoot lasers from their eyes.
You should go try really hard like that kid that tries to go Super Saiyan on YouTube. If you try hard enough, at the very least, you're gonna pop some blood vessels and then it'll look like you shot lasers out of your eyes.
Yeah. I don't know, this study's weird. It's like, it's like humans could shoot lasers out of their eyes. Like if they found a way to make a fucking contact lens implant or whatever that shot a laser, yes, you would be able to shoot lasers out of your eyes. Why are they studying this though? I don't understand.
Seems like a big waste of money. What is this, some European country?
It is.
There you go. In America, we don't care about shooting lasers from our eyes unless it's from the superheroes.
I don't need a laser because I got Smith & Wesson to do my shooting.
My eyes are fine because I never get them checked up because it's too expensive.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyways, that's our show. Thanks again to this week's sponsor, ADT. Introducing ADT Go, the new family mobile safety app and service. Get ADT Go with 24/7 emergency response with any ADT security system. Go to ADT.com/podcast to learn more today. With 36-month monitoring contract, early termination, and installation fees apply. Certain markets excluded. Licenses available at ADT.com. That's the fine print. Now, it's time for you. Check out some of our other episodes, including a brand new episode of Tugs where they put, would you believe it, they put Thanos into a video game.
Yeah.
And also a brand new episode of Tech Newsday with, there's, you know how tech is. It's kind of sad sometimes.
People are cheating.
Yep.
People are cheating on tests and YouTube ain't having it.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.